This is a demo of the features in the 0.70 release. First off, we fixed our manifest file, so hopefully going forward you will get automatic updates. We've started to add system settings. We have a new speed range table selection. You can either pick the default one or the simplified one that it was printed in Monster Hunters 2. If you look over here at Bog's combat sheet, it has the speed range table. If I select that and save the changes, it converts to the more simplified version. If you watch the features for the 06.6, you'll saw that we had our combat tooltip with a lot of the common modifiers here, and if a character is selected, you'll see their statuses. Characters can now have a variety of different statuses, and whatever status they might have would appear here. But we are still in talks with Steve Jackson Games as to how much of this will be allowed. So for the moment, it's still in the system. We've implemented the GURPS standard combat turn order, which is based on speed. Then if that's tied, dex, and then if that's tied, it's a d6. But it still asks you to roll the d6. And it shows you their turn. Now we've implemented a new import for GCS. At some point this will be in the GCS master library, but for right now it's in the export utils directory under the game system called Foundry VTT. Move this to your user library and you'll be able to export more information from GCS. The previous import system still works. If you've had any characters imported with the Fantasy Grounds export, it will still import. You'll just get more information by using that. You may have noticed down here on the table we've added a 3d6. If you left click in it, you just get a straight 3d6 roll. If you right click on it, you get a 1d6 roll. That came up when we found out that we were trying to roll reactions and we didn't have any way to roll 3d6. So now I can add in a reaction and just make a 3d6 roll, and we'll see how they react. The biggest feature, however, in the 070 release is the fact that you can now edit your character sheet. There's a title bar button here, and when you select that, almost everything here is editable, including the points. Although we do not calculate any points, this is not a character creation system. You can type in new points here and they will be reflected on the main page for posterity's sake. You can type in any value. If you want to change the selected encumbrance, just click on that line and it will change to that line. And on any of the items down here, you can edit them. If you need to add a new one, if you go to the title bar and right mouse click, you'll get a menu button to add to the end. If you click on one of the items, you can either add a new reaction before, delete this current reaction, or add an action at the end of this particular list. Now, with many things have notes, and you'll see here in melee weapons that the second half of this little green thing is actually a note. So in this case, for fine spear, I might say that this is actually +1 versus bugbears. And I'll use the on-the-fly format. And if I go back to the full view now, +1 versus bugbears appears as a note, and I can add that when I'm doing my damage versus a bugbear. Now, unfortunately, this formatting is a little off in Firefox. It works fine in Chrome, but in Firefox it's a little off. I just don't have a solution for that yet, but you can edit any of these fields. Same for ranged weapons. Now, advantages have a user description field which can be multi-line. So if we go back to the full view, you can see here that Grend has a very long description boring description of animal empathy. This is extremely powerful if you're using any of the magic as power systems like my character Luna has done, because all of her advantages are actually spells. And if we go to the editor for her, we can go down to all of these and type in the spell description and use the on-the-fly formulas to put in any die rolls or modifiers that we need. Lastly, for the editor, we do not currently support advantage, disadvantage containers. Everything just shows up in a straight list. The same thing for skills. However, for equipments, we do understand containership. And so in this particular case, I have a potion belt and it has 2 items in it. So if I right mouse click on the potion belt, there's a new option, add in, and then that will add a new piece of equipment that's contained inside that potion belt. And I can, if I click right here in the equipped, it'll set the equipped or not that set the equipped. So if we go back to the full view now and look down at Grend's equipment, there's now this new equipment that has no weight. And the last piece is that you can edit all of your adventure notes. So any of the notes that you enter in GCS, you can edit here, although the size doesn't change. You can still type your text in, and then when you come back to the full view, it'll be displayed normally. Now, a preview of our 0.80 release comes here. If you notice, Grend did some damage. So you'll notice the damage has a highlightable, or as you hover it over it, you see it's changing color a little bit. You can grab this, drag it, and drop it. So if we drag it on Luna, a dialog is going to appear and ask you where do you want to do the damage. We're going to say we're going to do it, we'll do it in the torso. It'll calculate all the information and apply the information to Luna's character and modify her hit points. Now, this was just to show you that we're going to have drag and drop damage. That dialogue and what happens with it is being fully fleshed out in the 0.80 release. So look for it. And thank you for watching.